Hey everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and I did something I normally don't do. I prepped materials. My bricks aren't cut, but I cut strips from my bricks out of dollar store foam. I have a piece of dollar store foam here I'm going to make a door out of. This is going to be my roof. It's a dollar store foam. This is going to be the main structure of my building. It's just cardboard cut into shapes so I can make a building with a slanted roof going forward, because what I want to make is a modular storefront kind of thing where I can stack buildings next to each other and build like a where everything is kind of like a townhouse and together. So let's start with doing the building pieces. And what I want to do is I'm going to do my storefront first, and then I'll glue these on and do the sides, because I want to keep it as easy as possible to maintain the image that this is. The front has to look nice. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm going to just take this Jingle Blocks thing here to kind of draw out my door. It helps if you have a pen, I hear. And then I want to kind of match it to the side there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but that's going to be my door. And to make my door look nice, I'm going to find the pen I threw. And I'm going to get in here and do my bricks. I probably should have pre-cut this with a knife, but I didn't, okay? Okay, and then I want my door to have 3 little boards, or maybe 4 little boards. I'll do 4 little boards. Going down. Make my door look nice. And then I want these to have kind of a planky look. Something like that. Will definitely create that planky look I wanted. Then I'm just going to tick in here a little bit for these bricks. Just like that. Okay. We'll just give them a unique little Now I want my bricks to look like they have some texture. So I'm just going to come here and rub around the outside of the piece of balled up tinfoil. Everybody knows this trick. Everyone uses it. I was actually told that someone on YouTube invented it, but it's a pretty old trick, so I don't think YouTube was around just yet then. But I don't know. I think it's actually from old war gamers, but I'm not going to argue. So I'm just going to get a piece of cardstock here. Make a strap for my door. So that my door sits flush and strong and nice and looks reinforced, because this is a storefront door and they don't want anything stolen. I just found a really cool channel called Doc Shows You How. And the dude has an awesome tray for gluing. I want to make my own version of it. Now you could get a toothbrush or a metal brush or anything and make that wood grain even more intense if you wanted to. That's not my intent or my desire. I'm not doing that. But I'm just going to do some more of that kind of crap. Alright, so that's my door. I'm going to put it on my establishment here where I think it would sit. on the front of my building, just like that. And then I'm going to brick the lower half of my building. And to do that, all I'm doing is dividing this into bricks. Like that. Same thing there. And I'm just going to snip that off once I get it in place. Just like that. And I could use more layers of brick if I wanted to. I'm not sure if that's what I want to do yet. We'll see. Let me think about that. I don't know if that's what I want to do. So I think what I want to do is this. I want to make wood beams going up at the front of this building. So I'm just going to get a piece of wood. I'm just using foam for that. Just like that. And I'm going to shove this one on this side. Nice and flush and strong. Okay, something like that. Do we need a window here on this storefront? Probably a small window here would be cool. I don't know if we need one per se. Let's throw one on there just to see what it could look like. So I'm just using something like that, just like that. I'm just going to freestyle. A door in there. A window, I should say. And then for my bricks, do the same thing I did before. And that's going to sit right there like that. But first, let's consider getting some wood behind it to add some texture of some sort. I think I'm going to go with vertical, just to add some variation to this. So all I'm going to do is get some pieces of cardstock in a place, just like that. And just create some fake planks with it. I'm going to leave a little bit of gap so there's some depth and interest. I'm just going to come up and down this doing that. And if everything doesn't fit, we'll just cut some shit to make it work. The prerequisite for a good craft is not perfection. It's creating the illusion, the stage-like wonder of a play. You can make ultra-realistic buildings all you want, and it's never going to replace the true allure of what an RPG is. An RPG is a chance to escape the real world for a little while. And that is the most important function. It's cooperative gameplay with your friends to tell collaborative stories and to enjoy the world for a little while from a different perspective. Last night in our game, even though we didn't play our normal full block, one of our players ended up coming late and having to leave a few minutes early. And when people have kids, that happens. But we had a really good time, and everybody got to escape the real world for a little bit. And that's what it's really all about, isn't it? We get to live fantastic lives. They got to be heroes. And I got to be comical and sometimes mean NPCs, and it was just really, really nice. It was a nice time. So I have some thinner ones here. This one looks kind of thinner. All right, we're going to be cutting it close. Okay. I'm afraid to cut it like that. So okay. And let's get a thinner piece here that'll fit in that groove. Oops, come on you. Just like that. Will it fit? Snug as a bug, maybe a little bit too thick. All right, let's see if I can carefully snipe off a little bit more. Sweet. Something like that. Okay, and where's the window? Now our window is a little bit big, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get something kind of flat and about the size of that window. I'm going to mush it a little bit flatter. Okay, so it's not so sticky outy. Just like that. Okay. Oh shit, I have it going up and down. Oh well. Maybe these are just some kind of renegade shutters that do what they want. I'm just gonna make it a little better, that's all. To make up for my error. Alright, so let's get these sides on. So what I want to do for my sides, this is kind of warped. Okay, so for my sides, I want to... Shit, that's not what I wanted to do at all. That's what I'm going to do, though. Okay, we're going to do them this way. We're going to get them on there pretty strong. Let it hold in place for a moment. I'm just going to throw a bead in there just to kind of shore it up a little bit and make it sturdy. I did not want that side exposed like that, but that's what I did, and that's just what I'm going to have to live with. Okay. And sometimes we make mistakes when we're crafting. Doing the same thing here. Okay. Sweet, something like that. Let that set up. Then I'm going to have to do something over those corners now, which is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to put it behind. But that's okay, we'll make it work. Alright, for the sides, I'm just going to do this real easy and basic. This building's got to sit adjacent to the next buildings. So what I'm going to do, is get my bricks on here, like this. I'm going to go up to about above the windows, probably. That's what I'm thinking. That one's wonky. Okay. This will probably be my last row of this. Okay. Get it up above that window. I'm going to do one more, just to make it kind of so I can follow the line easier on the other side too. If I know I'm above both, it'll be sturdier. Okay. Something like that. Up. And you could cut all these with a knife if you wanted to, but I don't want to. Because these sides are going to be pushed up against other buildings and probably not highly visible. Why would I want to kill myself putting in effort? And even if I wanted to use this as a standalone, I'll be alright. Whoops. And since I messed that up, that's now got to be a cracked brick. No problem. Something like that. And if you really wanted to chunk out and make something fancy, you could just kind of get in there and tear a brick loose in a corner here and there. And that's going to give it another interesting texture that you can play with. If you really want to go all the way. Still have to cover that front part. That irks the shit out of me. Okay, so anyways, this side should be easy to do, right? We already know how it looks. Need a glue stick. Yeah, 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 yeah. Keep on hoping there'll be glue sticks in this mother. Boop. Does anybody here know who Allison Hannigan is? Unfortunately, we never got married, but... Sorry. It might not be too late. Come on, you bastard. And I need to go one more above the door. We already knew that from the other side. So we have some continuity there. And everything looks about the same. And we want to kind of recreate what we did on the other side real quick. Get some texture. Doesn't have to be the perfect texture, because this building, like I said, is going to be sitting adjacent to the next building over. See, I'm just being a cheater and trying to draw lines. Doing it as easy as possible. I made one there I shouldn't have. No problem. Okay, something like that. Just gonna clean that up a little bit, make it a little more mushed in some spots. It's looking a little too clean for me. All right, so to finish off my sides, that's too easy. I'm just gonna use these popsicle sticks, or not popsicle sticks. I don't know why I said that. These pieces of cardstock box. It's from some kind of crackers, fudge crackers. I don't eat them personally because no one makes me. I don't want them. Hold on, I'm sweating. Yeah, I gotta blow my damn nose. Sweet. Back to work. Nose blowed. So we're just gonna continue on doing the walls like that. Okay, too easy. Hold on one second. All right. I hope this didn't dry while I was over there. That was just Lady Von Doom giving me pertinent information about the plans for the day. She is my beautiful, sweet lady. And even though I'm supposed to be married to Allison Hannigan, or maybe Felicia Day, I am married to her. Do I have a thing for redheads? No. But both of them and their influence on dork culture have an enormous influence on me. Allison Hannigan as Willow and Buffy was like the beginning of my appreciation for television, really, because I thought television was a waste of time and horrible up to that point. Buffy was the first show that I thought was worth watching. But then Sarah Michelle Gellar married Freddie Prinze Jr., and she came off my runner as a possible love interest in my life. Because at the time, I had a pretty intense dislike of Freddie Prinze Jr. Though I will say when he did some movies, they were decent. Hope I have enough of these. If I don't, no problem. We'll improvise. Looks like we're going to have some opportunity for a date night tonight. Both the boys, the little boys, are spending the night at friends' houses. So, yay. That little bit there, I'm just going to leave it go because I don't think it's that big of a deal, honestly. Okay. And I just want to get up against that flush. Just like that. Maybe a little bit better. There we go. And on the back side, it should be pretty easy, I'm guessing. Something like that. Now we need to cover those up. I think to cover those up, what I'm going to do is make them into brick sections. Get a wider one there. So all I'm doing is sliding that over off my plank to make this a row of bricks that travels up vertically on each side. Okay. Something like that. And then I want to cut these at an angle going down, congruous with that. I want to make these into bricks, so I'm just going to kind of lost my pen. There it is. Okay, now for my roof, I have a piece pre-cut here that's going to be my roof. And all I want to do is get it up on here like that. But I want to make my roof interesting. So to do that, I want it to look like shingles, right? There's a lot of ways to do that. And I'm looking for a popsicle stick. But this is probably the easiest way to do that. I'm going to come here, and I'm going to start at the bottom of my roof and work my way up. I'm going to shove in a little bit. I did this with a piece of metal last time. It looked better. I don't know if it's going to work with popsicle sticks. Might. Yeah, that metal piece was a lot better than this. See that? Starting to look kind of like a shingled roof. And you can change it up, you know, and get different looks with it doing this. It'd probably be smart to glue this onto a piece of cardstock first. I think when I did it before I had it on cardstock, but I can't remember. I really can't. I did it a long time ago too. And I also, another trick is that I didn't do it on dollar store foam last time. I did it on Walmart foam because at the time that's all I could get that day I was using it. If I remember correctly, it was definitely Walmart foam. So I think the secret is to like push in that way and push in that way as you go. Kind of give it some different, a little bit of where they don't just sit perfectly, you know. And I don't know where I learned this. I'm going to be honest with you. I could have saw this on YouTube, or an old crafter buddy could have showed this to me. Those Wargamer guys knew a lot of tricks like this that I knew down in Georgia. I really wish I could have got into war games because they were so good at making terrain and stuff. But when they made stuff, they made it to last forever, and they made it to be hyper realistic because they did like, you know, like World War II and historical, like Napoleonic and stuff. Plus, in 2000, I made my first giant project, which was an attempt at doing Helm's Deep that failed miserably. Yeah, I tried to build Helm's Deep as a noob. Obviously, it wasn't great. Okay, so I'm going to get glue here. I'm going to huckleberry my roof onto that, just like that. Whoa. Okay, and then on my front of my roof here, when I can't find my cutter, I want to separate these shingles a little bit so they're opened. And to do that, I'm just going to cut in some. Okay. Just like that. And then occasionally in some spots, especially in weird spots or spots that are sticking up, I'm just going to add this illusion by separating some shingles here and there. That's all I'm doing. Okay. I want this to be kind of sturdy, and I didn't plan ahead. So I'm just going to do something like this to get it a little sturdier in there. Just because I don't want it falling apart on me. Something like that. I just want it to be sturdy, that's all. Then I can cut this top part off pretty easily here, I'm hoping. Something like that. Cool. No top windows. Could use top windows. Don't need top windows though. So now we're just going to paint this in Mod Podge and whatever you want to add to your Mod Podge. You know, everybody has their own little recipes and shit. I'm not going to try to tell you the recipe. You find your own. Mod Podge plus whatever the shit you want. And do your roof. And this is going to be my first storefront of my modular buildings that are going to sit side by side to make a battle background. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon. Leave a comment and all the happy crap that helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.